could get drunk off the lights of a city. Late night phone calls just to say you miss me, but you don't. No, you don't. Drop my phone now, that shit's broken. 2 a.m. and I'm
Hello and welcome back to the Smite Draft League. We've got Immortal action for you today. On the left side of your screen, you're going to see Eclipse, and on the right side, you're looking at Sanctified, captained by Dracull. I'm Anthony Malum, and I'm joined today by the EU Prince Jeffrey. How you doing,
Heyo,
Jeffrey?
Jeffrey Chatu, that's something new. I'm doing good, Anthony. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm excited. Matter of fact, I just noticed we got your boy in here, Darknms, who had the Scouting Grounds Penta. So excited to see the season debut from our newest Penta member of the SDL.
Yeah, for sure. We also have some other names that we see a lot in here. For example, I've seen Pest News being very active in the Discord, being a call almost daily, so I got to know him a little bit. We also see Lucent here, personal favorite of mine. But that being said, let's talk about these bans. We see a lot of magical ADCs already being banned out.
Yeah, par for the course, really. You don't want to let those through, and especially in Immortal, I feel like so far in the short, granted, viewing amount we've had, the mage ADCs in Immortal have been more prominent than even Divine or Godlike. Godlike, they kind of can play around them a little more. Divine, they almost don't value them as much, it seems, and then Immortal is just their stomping ground.
Yeah, I think they are perfect for Immortal. Maybe the skill level is just barely not high enough to like fully know how to play against them. So they really shine as the players are usually good enough to really utilize
Mhm.
them a lot. Still see Kronos open though, as the other three do have been banned. Also Fenrir and Hebwa, of course, being very strong right now. Good bans overall, as we see Tiamat and Kukulin locked in.
And I think the thing, it's almost, I almost view it not even so much as skill, it's just kind of these different metas that form within the divisions. They're scrimming against different people. There's a lot of EU players in particular in this set and in Immortal. So it's just a weird mixture of things that kind of, which I kind of really like. It leads to a lot of interesting prospects. I'm excited to see how that keeps unfolding and so on and so forth, especially in like the new challenger circuit. We do have an Agni as well. So take me through the Agni here, assuming it gets locked in against the Tiamat. What are you thinking of that matchup?
Well, I must say, as much as Tiamat has been a stable pick for a couple of years now already, you cannot go around Agni this season. The bombs just put those numbers out so much. Especially if the owner of the server iNooblet hears me, I cannot talk anything bad about Agni, as he might have be the best god in the game, according to them. And well, I think I might have to agree. Like in the mid lane, for sure, if you don't want to put another magical ADC, which can be good in the mid lane, I think Agni might be your top pick.
Yeah, Agni has kind of been going crazy so far. But Odin getting locked in, that is a character that I I watch a lot of streams of a lot of different ranked players. And Odin is I've seen more Odin in SDL than I've seen anywhere else. And every time I've seen Odin, regardless of role, Odin's going crazy right now. So I love that lock in, and I really like it against the Agni and the Kukulin. Kukulin obviously can get out, but I feel like it handles Kukulin and creates some good separation for your team. And Agni, obviously, you got to time the dash, and you could, in theory, get around it, but it's you're not jumping. You're kind of stuck in the ring around the rosy.
Yeah, as well as you kind of make it so the other team has a hard time picking any healing gods, as Odin does have the 100% anti-heal.
Hmm.
And don't forget, if this Hoi, for example, does jump out, it still slows and it does damage. It's pretty nutty. I am actually surprised to not see Odin more outside of the STL more. But hold on a second, as Yamoja for Lucent is being locked in, that is something you do not like to
Yeah,
see if you're Chaos side here.
that is, Dracull has to be one of the most involved, fully researched, and smartest captains that we've got in any of the divisions. So, I'm not saying that letting Lucent get Yamoja is a mistake because I think I'm the champion of banning out Lucent is almost a trap. but it's surprising to see it go in game 1 of the first set of their season. So I'm kind of shocked to see that go through. I do want to touch on the Hou Yi because I have been screaming from the rafters about Hou Yi this entire season so far that I feel like it's an underrated pick. And I really hope, I think Blizzard is the ADC for Sanctified at the moment. So I'm really hoping that this Hou Yi kind of goes crazy. I'm not trying to show bias, but I'm showing some bias because I think Hou Yi is undervalued.
Yeah, I think how you might be very strong right now. Also, gotta like imagine how he does have a little knock up in his free if the target has been marked. It's gonna be hard to ult his Relix, but I think it's possible. So a little bit of a combo over there. Um, However, I personally just dislike how because I'm bad at him. I'm not gonna go around the bush. I just can't play the god.
I do like taking the Uelix away also because Uelix is a nice combo in the Hou Yi. It was still open. There's not a definite jungle on the side of Eclipse so far, so good call overall. But yeah, Hou Yi is a tough character. You know that we'll blame it on the EU ping. Does that make you feel better?
Sure, maybe I can play him on NA ping because if I normally would miss, then the ping will correct me for it.
True,
Um,
actually.
Anyway, as we go towards the last two picks for the order side here, is there anything in particular you are thinking about that we might get to see here?
You know, they've waited a long time for 80 to pick up their ADC, and you pointed it out that Kronos is open. But are we getting a classic? I'm gonna be shocked if this gets locked in. I mean, it's a great pick, but I haven't seen a Rama versus Hou Yi in a long time, and it is locked in. Wow, it's like season 8 again. That's crazy. Tsukiyomi also locked in. I was gonna suggest going, or not suggest, but I was going to look for something similar to Tsukiyomi. I feel like True Assassins are really good right now. I like the Tsukiyomis, the Thanatoses, the Fenrir's, even though it was banned, things like that. So I love that pickup.
Maui.
What do you think of the Maui here? I know you're a big Maui stan.
I think it's criminal that Maui got towards all the way to the last pick. I think it should have been banned, if anything. I don't know how it got picked up 10th, but it's a great pick. You have a big knock up with the islands that you can throw out for the Awilix to ult after, as well as just a lot of secure, a lot of CC, and my man is way too tanky. I do want to go back towards this Rama for a little bit though. I think like he is decent as with the amount of attack speed you get from his 2, you can easily go towards the Quince build. However, I would have rather seen the Kronos here against the Hou Yi, just because you can't go crit.
Yeah, you're kind of forcing yourself into that king size build, which is, it's good in scenarios, but it can be a little underwhelming at times. But we'll see how that plays out in game as everybody's locked in and we're ready to go. We'll see you in game number 1.
I could get drunk off the lights of a city. Late night phone calls just to say you miss me, but you don't. No, you don't. Drop my phone now, that shit's broken. 2 a.m. and I'm lost in Brooklyn, missing home. I know you don't. When we were on, I'd always thought we would make it, but now you're gone. Baby, you're a ghost. I'm caught up in a landslide, mental on the low end. When I used to feel alive, now there's a hole in the city, can't feel shit. Where do I go? Cause I know you don't feel this. Can't catch a break for God's sakes. Feel like I'm waking up and I'm caught in a wake. Yeah, I know this is my funeral on parade. I did it to myself cause I always thought you would feel the same, and I know you don't. Drunk off the lights of a city, late night phone calls just to say you miss me, but you don't. No, you don't. Drop my phone now, that shit's broken. 2 a.m. and I'm lost in Brooklyn, missing home. I know you don't. Let's hit the brakes. I'm pulling out the parachute, jumping out the plane. You had it all in front of you, nothing feels the same. It's crazy what love can do, even crazier when it's not coming back to you. You say you need space, so I gave you all the states. Every night a different place. Used to
Hello and welcome back. We've got Eclipse, Sanctified. I'm Anthony Malum. Jeffrey's with me. Nooblets on camera. Buffs are spawning in. Let's do it.
Let's do it indeed. As we see the quadruple buff clear here, which has been most common towards the solo lane side. I don't think I've seen many people do anything else except for Nooblet.
Same. Nooblet and Venenu are the only two people I've seen do anything different this entire season.
I think you might be right about it. So at the start of this game, let's talk about builds. How Yi going for the Gilded Arrow. It's not something I've seen too much so far just yet. Rama going with the more standard Death. Help me out here.
Death's Toll.
Death's Toll, that's right. Build. Which one do you think is better?
I'm leaning towards Death's Toll. What I'm wondering from Blizzard is if Blizzard's anticipating being pressured out and maybe wanting the attack speed, to go along with the Wing Shard, maybe also get some extra gold online, try to get ahead of this Rama and take some 1v1s. I mean, Hou Yi is a prominent 1v1 character, so that's my main assumption, is maybe that's what you're looking for. Darknms a little pushed up, and Awilix is heading to mid and has a level advantage, but the knockup is no good, so Dark is safe for now.
Great,
yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking for.
Yeah, that might be like, I think obviously in the early game, a sustain is a lot better on the Death Toll. However, the Gilded Arrow will get you a late game faster with the added gold that it gives you. So it's a bit of a choice to make. You'll give the early game, but hold that thought though. A Relix.
It was getting close for MysticMegatron. Had to play the safe route to get out of there. Soulzc backing up as well. So now pressure goes to mid. And I mean, aside from that, it's pretty calm. This is one of the crazier Immortal matchups. This could easily be a godlike division game in terms of the skill we've seen. So I'm very excited to see how this game plays out.
Yeah, same. I think both of these teams have a lot to offer. And I really like most of these picks. If I gotta call out like one or two people, I would say like maybe Tsukiyomi is gonna have a hard time against Agni bombing themselves. And talking about Agni,
falling low, Darknms gets the first blood on the Tsukiyomi. You were just gonna touch on the Agni, and Agni falls down. Caster's Curse maybe. MysticMegatron trying to continue the run here in mid and get some revenge, but just cut off by the Tsukiyomi and cannot go any further. Close call for the Awilix, dropping a bit low, a bit quick. Yeah, I think you might have gotten your first tier 2 Caster's Curse.
Maybe, but however, I do think until level 5 the Tsukiyomi wins that easy, but the second they both hit 5, if Tsuki wants to ult his Agni, he can just drop 3 of his bombs on himself and like the Tsuki absolutely gets destroyed. So I'm looking forward towards that. However, getting first blood here for Eclipse is pretty big.
Yeah, I agree, and going to Tsukiyomi is huge. Tsukiyomi is a character that not many characters can stand with a Awilix in the jungle, and Tsukiyomi's not perfect for it. I mean, nobody's good against Featherstep. It's just one of those abilities. But Tsukiyomi, just as a 1v1 in the jungle character, is so good right now. You get any kind of lead, and you're looking pretty.
Yeah, I agree. Tsukiyomi is a bit of a snowballer. A lot of these players, I don't know if it's Dark MNS in particular, but a lot of players who did describe themselves as a snowballer when they were a jungler. So I want to see this Tsuki grab this lead as early as possible and like bring it out, because I don't know about late game. I think Awilix is one of the more scary and underwhelming, well, not underwhelming, I'm sorry, underrated characters when it comes to that, because she can absolutely delete you.
I agree. Tsukiyomi looking for more kills to add on, but Dracull and Blizzard are already underneath the tower, so should be okay and safe from the Tsuki. That creates some jungle pressure, though, so that's a positive here for Eclipse, despite the lack of a need for a gank. Might even look to pressure out mid as Agni's returning to lane. Awilix is backed by blue. Granted, they don't know that. A lot of options on the map here. That's kind of the chaotic part about this season in general. Although Dark is looking for Soulzc, but Dash is up and away. Have you had that feeling of like almost what do I do? Because there's either too much farm on the map at once or there's no farm up and you got nothing to do?
Yeah, I've been playing jungle a lot, especially since I think it's one of the easier game modes to play on ping. And what I've noticed is that I sometimes can go 6-in-1 and still be behind in farm because I'm just ganking instead of farming too much. It's absolutely crazy how much there is to do at one point and then absolutely nothing at the other. I'm not sure if I'm too big of a fan of that.
Yeah, we noticed that in Scouting Grounds. I remember there were a few games where I was running camera and we'd see that the charts were lopsided to where experience and gold were going different directions, which is very odd. Wow.
Oh.
Adora dove deep for the solo kill on Mario as we were just chitter-chattering away, and it turned into a solo kill for Mario. So big pickup there for the Odin. Dracull dropping low, but Dark gets cut off there with the stun, and now MysticMegatron's going deep, and the Rain Fire is going to find its target, and Soulzc gets a kill. Landfall does not find anybody, and Eclipse gets to walk away, having only lost the one.
Well, that's the first Agni Bomb kill onto Darknms we've seen this game, and I will assure you it will not be the last one. I guess my caster curse got reversed now, because I think it's starting to pan out the way I thought it would.
It'll be the first of many, don't worry. You know, Kingfisher might be the worst with caster curses, though, because his are always instantaneous.
Yeah, Fisher has a thing for it, doesn't he?
Yeah, he has a thing for caster's curses and missing defaults. It's a skill best obtained by practice.
He also has a thing for being fired.
Also true. Builds are starting to even out. The only thing I noticed that's really unique here is, I mean, we'll talk about the contagions because I'm sure you discussed it, but I do notice that Tiamat went tablet first.
Oh.
Blizzard taking the 1v1 with the mark. Sunbreaker comes out. Astral Barrage. I think TheDivineApe is dead upon landing, though, as the jump is going to be up. Got to hit the basics, and the Ricochet going to be off the mark. TheDivineApe might be getting lucky here. The rotations are coming out. Blizzard cannot chase this any further. And there's the Lucent Yamoja showing up in all its glory. Blizzard definitely dropped that 1v1, but it would have been tough to clean up, I think, with that Ricochet being down, but it was definitely there.
Yeah, that little knock-up I talked about pre-game, hold that thought though, it might be a bit of trouble here. I think they will be fine. Okay, going back, like I was talking about in the pre-game, as we go towards the solo lane, No, we're fine here as well. As I was talking about in the pre-game, the little knock-up from the Hauyi actually cancelled Rama Dash there, making TheDivineApe in a very vulnerable spot, eating the entire Hauyi ult while trying to go up in the air, absolutely losing that 1-for-1, and I think it's a bit of a misplay by Blizzard to not finish it off.
Yeah, it definitely just came from not having that Ricochet up instantly. If the Ricochet was up when TheDivineApe came down from Astral Barrage, that would have been an easy kill. So TheDivineApe needs to take advantage of staying alive, though, and really try to push here. Honestly, at the moment, you know Blizzard's ult's down for a little while longer. Take some engagements, trade out, and get some lane pressure.
Yeah. So, about these solo laners. They're both dead to me.
Yeah, they're both building Contagion. That is a no-no in the Book of Jeffrey, as we've all come to learn. And yeah, it's kind of tough because what do you do in comp? Not build one of the most insane items we've ever had in the game, even after it's been, you know, nerfed into the ground, if you read it?
It's not even that good anymore. Why are people always still building it?
I think they're just torturing you. The tablet before book, though, what's your stance on going Book of Thoth first or Tablet of Destinies first?
I think both of them are pretty fine. Honestly, I think both pickups here are the better ones, as Agni just has so much easy poke potential later in the game, like past level 5. I guess he did get book after level 5 as well, so it doesn't really matter that much, but well, best news here, gotta be more in your face to actually get the poke off. You do have the beams, of course, but most of it is with jumping on people. So I guess you want to get the tablet stacked as quickly as possible. As well as we don't know, maybe Best News is going for the a bit of a hybrid build, as we've seen that on.
Very true.
Yeah, we've seen it a lot on top of the god as well lately, which is absolutely disgusting, by the way.
Yeah, because Tiamat can really stand to be very tanky and still do that crazy damage. So maybe that is what we're taking a peek at. A lot of pressure coming out in mid. Pest News leading the way, finds Dracull, but no kill potential quite yet. And that's kind of the problem with Eclipse's comp, is they can all do damage independently, but their team fights are going to be a bit awkward until around level 13, 14, once they really start doing some numbers.
Yeah, I must agree with that. I think right now, like you were saying, they're a bit in an awkward spot. I still think they should be fine to hold their ground, but Sanctified should be able to like win team fights as of right now. I think they are a bit in the favor him.
I think their problem will come once the Rama's rotating and you've got that additional damage. I mean, going Aussie here, the build could still change, but I'm still expecting to see crit. And wow, DivineApe did not get that. One basic from Blizzard secured it.
Well, one basic is enough. One basic is a good basic.
This Rama's having a frustrating laning phase. I can kind of feel it in my bones. You know, you didn't get 1v1'd, but it almost happened. Your abilities are on cooldown. The rotations haven't really been there, even though Blizzard's been pushed up the tower. You're losing your shield buff to one basic. It's not a good headspace to be in right now.
No, for sure. As well as we see Blizzard here already opting immediately towards the crit, which is of course better on the Hayi than Rama in this matchup. So I really do wonder if Rama is going towards, for example, a Rage here immediately as well, or if they are looking towards a bit more of Pen or Quince here.
Yeah, I'm not sure for DivineApe. I probably had the same conundrum in DivineApe's shoes. Purification Beats forced out on Pest News, has to jump away. I am looking so I'm expecting this to be obviously a Rage for Blizzard. I would expect to see Blizzard really try to get aggressive with the Rage instead of just rotating early to get the stacks on Rage. A lot of rotations over to solo, huh? Pyromancer getting pulled at 11 minutes. Aggressive, but I like it. Dark gonna fall to Adora behind the tier 1 tower. Lucent just could not find an opening to help out the jungler. Now Mario trying to put in work. Sanctified cleans up the Pyromancer in the meantime. Adora still growing aggressive and doing damage to Mario. Mario's got to back up, but the landfall comes out. Mario is able to sidestep it, but Lucent gets pulled in. But this is a tank v tank, so not too much damage from either side.
How is Eclipse allowing them to stand there for that long? That's baffling to me. Yes, Dark did die, so you don't have that confirmed, but I would have liked to see Pest News rotate over there. I think even though there are tanks, you got Book and you got Tablet. You're doing so much damage already right now. I think that might have been a double kill if the mid laner rotated over.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with you. This has been a very calm game overall, so maybe this is their first game overall this season. First set, first game. So maybe you're just taking things easy, feeling things out. We don't know how many scrims they've had, so on and so forth. Ape runs into Blizzard in the jungle. Sunbreaker comes out. Bead's going to be forced. That's a victory for Blizzard here, as that could turn into a rotation from the Iwilix.
Yeah, Beats being forced, Beats also being necessary. I think you die when you're DivineApe there if you don't beat it. Yeah. Honestly, great decision making. Bit unfortunate that they got caught out there around the corner. Maybe a little bit of a lack of ward issue there, but I can't talk about it as I don't buy wards myself. However, a lot of
ward. See, that's why you buy wards, Jeffrey. DivineApe was just saved because they walked over the wards that are up by Gold Fury, and DivineApe was like, "Nah, I see that a Wheelix and the Maui. I'm out." Backs,
I would have just sensed them.
Why do I believe you?
Because it's true. It's the EU. It's the EU sixth sense. I'm telling you.
I think you're just built different. That's the only course of action I can believe here.
Yeah, maybe I'm just cheating.
We got our answer on DivineApe. Does go the Rage, so especially with this being the build, I'm looking for Blizzard to force some 1v1s for the next couple levels and stack up that Rage. DivineApe rotating onto the Gold Fury, going to look to maybe contest with Astral Barrage now being back up. Gold Fury down to 30% health, dropping quick. Astral's going to be a bit late. Sanctified cleans up the Gold Fury.
Yeah, it was pretty close by DivineApe to actually steal that, but I think the Acne bombs just out your Rama any day of the week. I'm right.
Lucent going to get pulled in by Landfall. No, Lucent will not after Purification Beads was used. Didn't even notice Lucent had that. Good choice by the support. Soulzc cleans up the emotion, though, despite the Purification Beads being used. Sanctified has the advantage, but with Adora and Dracull a bit low, we'll see where the fights come from. MysticMegatron goes in deep, getting hit hard by DivineApe. Sunbreaker, though, cuts everybody off, but only for the time being. Mario cleans up MysticMegatron, but now Darknms is caught off by Blizzard and falls down to the Ho Yi. That's a Rage stack, and Blizzard now goes into the sky, does not go aggressive with it. just looking to get out of there, but it's going to be split off from his team. So now it's a great escape for the Ho Yi as Dracull just barely survives in mid. Blizzard takes the 1v1 with Pest News with nowhere else to go and did way too much damage and survived for way too long, but finally falls down.
Yeah, Blizzard missing the bounce there on the one actually drops that kill. I think they could have killed Pest News if the stun went off, as well as, of course, the damage, because it does so much damage. But talking about the beginning of that fight, I want to say this is why Dracull is a captain. That landfall was placed so perfect that Lucent could absolutely not walk anywhere for the duration it was up, meaning they fall down even though they beat the knockup.
This game is being played so tactically from both sides. It's awesome. I mentioned this with a couple Divine games that we've seen so far, that the competition and the skill is just, it feels different this season. It feels like these teams really know what they're doing, and there's a lot of new players, not just in the league, but in this game as well. So seeing how it's all playing out is, I love it. This is what our season looks like. Even with the kills low, it's just so close and so intense. I'm over the moon about it.
Yeah, it's a very exciting start for sure. I'm hoping to get some, in my opinion, better metas to watch.
Fair.
I'm not the biggest fan of where the game is at right now. So I think if it's this exciting with a game in a bad state, how exciting will it be when the game actually, well, gets balanced, in my opinion, of course, again.
And while we have a lapse, so what is it in your mind that could change things? Fisher and I had a big discussion about bringing down mages and assassins in order to bring hunters up instead of bringing hunters up, because hunters aren't bad, assassins and mages are just that good. And I guess the same could in theory be said for warriors. We'll hang on for your answer until after this potential team fight, because we do have some rotations coming out around the Pyromancer. Dracull looking to just make sure nobody's up to anything funky. Soulzc rotating. ADCs are busy in lane doing ADC things. Yeah, just trading. This could turn into a fight any second. It just really takes an opening, but that's the problem with the Eclipse team comp. If somebody goes in, they've got to all in, and they'll be in a bad position.
Yeah, I don't think they're quite ready to fight just yet. Maybe Mario here, as they are looking very much pushed up into the enemy team, but I guess not quite yet. As DivineApe trusted himself to stand still there and not be hit, and I guess they were right. 2 bombs going down onto Pest News, falling down low, but not quite
We'll see
falling
if that
down.
pokes enough to start the Pyromancer. It looks like there's just a purple invading left. I thought maybe it was a rotation, but it's not. It does look like that's going to be the call. They're going to go to Pyromancer and start to look at it. Pest News did get a little bit poked out. Everybody's fairly healthy except for Dracull on the side of Sanctified. Pyromancer going to fall quickly before Eclipse could even respond, and now Pest News might be caught out by Adora. But is safe. Blink from MysticMegatron. Suku's off the mark. Has to get out of there.
Yeah, Adora fell down with absolutely no rage whatsoever. Still, he's been out so long, Kukulin, and I still can't get used to not saying mana whenever my man is out of rage. Making it so he couldn't really use any abilities anymore. I think it was a kill if not, but still, yeah, pretty free Pyromancer. Acne Bomb's doing that for you. I don't think there was really any steal potential for an Eclipse there.
All right, so we've got time now. Let's go back to what I was asking before. In your opinion, what is it that would put this meta in a good spot for you?
Well, first of all, delete Freya. Just straight up, no one is having fun against or with that god. If you say that you are, you're lying to yourself. Second of all, Contagion. I think I've said enough about Contagion. And with that all out the window, like that's the obvious answers. You know I was gonna say that. I think you were right. Like, make hunters a little bit better again. It also falls down towards these magical hunters just being that prominent, but hunters are bad, dude. I mean, yes, hunters have not been bad in a very long time, and usually they're like one of the best in the game. But right now, they do basically nothing.
As somebody who's played carry pretty much all of my time playing Smite, most seasons start off with normal hunters feeling weird, and they do adjust by mid, but this does feel like one of the stronger scenarios because, I mean, not since the earliest seasons of Smite have assassins been the go-to. I mean, I got to think back to like season 1, season 2, where Loki ADC was prominent. All right, cutting myself off here because Dracull was falling low quickly. Mario goes in. Odin Cage is down, but it did not find anybody home. Dracull still falling low. Pest News goes in. Landfall in response. Pulls up Pest News, and Pest News finally gets the kill on Dracull. Not for lack of trying. Blizzard around the side cut off, and everybody's dropping low thanks to the help from Soulzc. Dark trying to make a play, but goes in on Adora, who instantly deletes the Tsukuyomi. River's Rebuke comes up, separates Blizzard once again. Knockup gets pulled on TheDivineApe, but he Purification beads, and Pest News is on a killing spree. Eclipse is somehow managing to keep this fight together against Sanctified. Eclipse gets to back away with 4 members against Sanctified's 3. I can't believe Eclipse has turned this fight. I thought for sure Sanctified was going to turn it after the damage from Soulzc, but they don't.
Yeah, I think basically anyone on the team of Eclipse there was like below 25% HP after Soulzc just dropped all his bombs. But somehow they still win the fight after. I was watching it and I'm still not sure what happened.
Yeah, it was weird. I don't know. I mean, I mentioned that Blizzard was on the side of the fight. Maybe that was just the difference that Hou couldn't get in there. But he wasn't cut off the entire time, so maybe just trying to play too safe and retreat a little bit too early? I'm not too sure. Pest News has to use that Purification beads to get away from Dracull and Soulzc. That Agni is dealing damage right now. 3rd place on the damage charts and not messing around.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised by Agni's build over here, seeing Karen's coin being picked up. It's not an item I see that often anymore. It's interesting. I'm not sure. I don't think it's bad. I just think there are better options, honestly. Also, looking at these hunters over here, we did see Rama after like stopping with the crit for now after Rage has a stack more than Blizzard actually. But the difference here is a dominance onto the Hou. I like dominance a lot. I think dominance right now is very strong and very underrated. What do you think about dominance?
I like dominance. I tend to sell my Death Soul for it, but going dominance in this portion of the build for Blizzard is actually really smart. So you've got to think about the 1v1 with the TheDivineApe. TheDivineApe is not critting you, and now you're doing more damage with your basic attacks to TheDivineApe, who's not critting you. The 1v1 is basically not even an option any longer for TheDivineApe if he were to run into Blizzard, because the dominance combined with the mark, combined with the ricochet, like, doesn't matter if you have more rage stacks if you're dead.
Yeah, the only thing that could swing the fight into favor of the TheDivineApe is the attack speed getting from that he gets from the 2 on this Rama, because obviously that makes more value out of the Quins they both got with it as well.
And that's where you see the logic of the Gilded Arrow, by the way.
Yeah.
All right, Oni Fury being pulled, so let's talk team fights, because everybody's here, and Oni Fury's already down to half health. Sanctified has a much better position and much better health bars than the last fight, but both sides being patient. Oni Fury's back full now. Dracull stepped up to Mario and has taken a lot of poke, down to half health. Yemoja almost caught him there, and Dracull was pushed back in, but not quite. Sanctified had to back up a little bit now, and Oni Fury's pulled once again. TheDivineApe taking the back foot to do some good sustained damage. Sanctified stepping over, looking for the opening. The opening looks like it's going to have to be the pull from a Wheelix brings in Mario. Blizzard picks up the kill onto the Odin, and now the fight's breaking out finally, and Adora goes in deep, finding TheDivineApe and LUCENTCOLORS, but again, Sanctified hesitant to fully commit with the full health bar on the jungler, potentially. Dracull with the landfall. MysticMegatron gets the credit for the kill. Blizzard dumps in on Lucent, and now things are going crazy. Dark falls down to Blizzard. It's a double kill. TheDivineApe cleans up Dracull. Looking for more. Who's going to fall next? It's going to be the Rama on the landing. Who gets the credit? It's Blizzard with the triple kill. Deicide for Sanctified. Oni Fury is theirs.
Yeah, Blizzard that fight just doubling the kills and then getting another one. Absolutely massive fight here by Sanctified. I think the entire fight started out by them putting the Gold Fury actually being locked out a little bit towards going, well, Eclipse putting the Gold Fury right after, but Soulzc coming into the backline, dropping his bombs, destroying the entire team of Eclipse, and just great CC and great cleanup by the rest of this Sanctified team.
Yeah, that was... I was getting frustrated for a moment because I felt like Sanctified had their opening, but MysticMegatron getting the pull onto Mario like had me stunned clearly, and it worked out for Sanctified as their opening to get that Odin away from causing havoc in the front line and to make an opening for your damage to come out. So I guess that's been the problem, has been Mario just causing just a little bit too much chaos for Sanctified to capitalize until just then.
Yeah, that might have been it. But Sanctified absolutely turning it around, and now they're also pulling Pyromancer. No
Oh, and
ward
this is
coverage
free.
from Eclipse here. It's like you're saying, this should be completely free. Umoja walking towards it now, but I think they might be too late. They
Yeah,
are
the
too late.
bubble's
Did
not in
place a
time.
wall down. Yeah.
It was close. You know, Odin going bees here was smart. I'm wondering if we're going to see... It's not exactly meta, but I think a Magi's for Mario would be very valuable here. You got to stay alive and not get pulled in. Lucent, the one getting pulled in now. Blizzard with the follow-up and doing numbers. Sunbreaker to clean it up. Blizzard's on a rampage. Soulzc runs into Pest News and does some poke, but nothing more. Landfall not going to find a home on the Pest News, but it was close. But that's created an opportunity for Sanctified with some big ultimates down. They're going to take the risk and go for the Fire Giant. This is a gutsy call. Eclipse going to look to contest, but they don't have everybody quite yet. Sanctified definitely pulling the bait here as they're not full committing on the Fire Giant. Mario walks in the pit. Tsukuyomi runs into a Wheelix and is losing the 1v1 and has to retreat. Now Fire Giant is being 50-50, down to quarter health already. Adora playing defense on TheDivineApe. Rainfire comes down to Fire Giant. Eclipse steals the Fire Giant. MysticMegatron did pick up the kill in the dark. Blizzard finds one on the Mario. Pest Dudes cleans up Adora. MysticMegatron falls down to TheDivineApe, who's might be cut off, though. Got to play it safe and dash out of there. Eclipse with a big steal after Sanctified went for the 50-50.
Yeah, Soulzc just a little bit early on the Agni bombs there, not confirming the Fire Giant. You must feel so terrible after that. I feel for him right now. Been playing a very, very good game, but that you're letting your team down as a mid lane and not confirming there. I am not sure who stole it, but you just got your team back into this game.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, part of it might have been they weren't full committing the damage. They weren't full burning. I think they were still hesitant on calling a 50-50. So maybe Soulzc was trying to wait to see if there was more coming out and then panicked because it was being stolen. I mean, charts tell the story. The difference is going to Sanctified, but you see that little peak we got turning? That was the steal for Eclipse, and that is their opening to get back into this game.
You gotta remember, you still got Fire Giant on TheDivineApe and Pest News here. Yes, it's on Lucent as well. That just matters a little bit less, in my opinion, personally. Your carries, your mid laner, your ADC, with Fire Giant, that must be scary. I think Blizzard would win any 1v1 right now with TheDivineApe if it wasn't for that Fire Giant.
Yeah, that will be the difference maker for sure, because that kind of will make up for a bit of the difference in the ability to not crit for those 3 seconds. It's and that was the advantage you had. You could send, if Blizzard could find TheDivineApe, you could really at least stall the Rama out of the fight. Now you lose that option for a while. A bit of a split on the map here. Looks like Sanctified's going to clean up objectives. Adora's going to look to lightly look at this tier 1, but the tier 1 should fall for free. So Eclipse making good use of the Fire Giant here.
Oh, Relix actually ulting to burn this down fast. I don't think they know. They should know it's free. They see everyone into the solo lane here. I guess they wanted to do it quick, so they're looking at the tier 2 themselves. Meanwhile, it's Adora here, completely alone, just falling down towards these 5 people of Eclipse.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was necessary.
Yeah, I think Sanctified might be throwing a little bit.
Jeffrey with the harsh words, but, you know, it's an EU thing, so I'll let that one slide. But yeah, Adora definitely could have backed up there, and I mean, the tier 2 is, I mean, it's valuable, but in a 1v5 defense, there's no reason to die for it. Now that's 30 seconds without Adora, so that's a tier 2 in mid and potentially more.
Ooh.
Rainfire does good damage to Tsukuyomi. Not enough as nobody else is around to full commit. But yeah, that was oddly played by Sanctified. The only thing I could possibly think of is Adora just got caught out and got to a point where it was just easier to say, let me try to stall. Maybe that was the call. I'm not sure if they thought Eclipse was going to run it in for a Phoenix or what the scenario was there. But regardless of the reasoning, it's an unlucky break for Sanctified.
Yeah, stalling is one thing. They did stall. Of course it's still a hunter and a mid laner with Fire Giant. They might have gotten the Phoenix if he wasn't there. Then again, I think after the gold, if you all just back, you're in time anyway, and they still lost the tier 2. So he didn't save that much. However, did get the Odin ult. It's back up now, but that did mean that Eclipse had a little bit less of fighting potential right after at least they killed Adora, with this Odinal being pretty prevalent in the fights.
Yeah. So we're at 30 minutes. This game is fairly even with Eclipse having turned that last Fire Giant. They're setting up to make the first play on the EFG. Who's in your mind? Who's got the advantage right now, Jeffrey?
In my mind, it should be still Sanctified, honestly. They may not have played their best game in the last few minutes, but I still think they put up enough of a lead in the early game to pull this off. As well as I've said it before, but this Agni is putting out numbies. We see Pest News right here,
yeah,
right
Pest
now,
News is almost
absolutely being destroyed.
And it looks like Sanctified might take this as an opening. Adora's leading the charge, going to go in and try to keep Pest News from backing. Eclipse plays decent defense, but now it's a 4v5, and Sanctified knows it. Landfall brings in Tsukuyomi, who gets pulled in by MysticMegatron and falls. Sunbreaker into the Odin cage. River's Rebuke comes out. Anybody not pressing for, raise your hand. Jump in from Blizzard. Unstoppable Ho Yi. A double kill for Adora, and Sanctified takes advantage of the man down and is doing work. Pest News now cut off from Mario. Adora goes in on Pest News. MysticMegatron, though, gets blown up by the Tiamat, so that's an Awilix down. This is an EFG for certain, but they do lose out on getting it on MysticMegatron.
Yeah, I think they might have just overstayed their welcome just a little bit. Should have
hang
taken
on.
a
Mario
win.
teleported in, and Mario's deep in the pit, and Pest News is on the way. Fire Giant down half health. Look at Blizzard's health bar. It's almost gone, and Pest News is from behind him. Gets the killing spree and deletes the Ho Yi. The Fire Giant no longer is free, as I once thought. Adora should find a kill in the Mario. Maybe not. Shield comes out. Pest News still playing defense. Pest News is going crazy this game. Soulzc and Dracull run into the Tiamat. Purification beads to get away. Pest News just kept Eclipse in this game.
Yeah, Pest News, honestly, great decision making there. I think if you gotta talk about Sanctified here, it is the first game of the season. These players don't know each other that well yet. Bit of a miscommunication there. I think if they fix that up for later in the season, they're looking very, very solid. If Megatron and Adora didn't chase too deep there towards Pest News, they could have gotten this fire like pretty freely, as they did a lot of burst damage, and missing out this Awilix for the damage is pretty big.
Yeah, the blinders were definitely on quite a bit there, and that was the difference in that fight. I completely agree with you. As soon as you saw Adora and MysticMegatron going one way and everybody else going the other just for the half health Tiamat, with the full health Mario there was a risky call. EFG now will be contested once again because nobody got it there. So Eclipse and Sanctified going to look to trade blows again. Advantage this time definitely has to lean Eclipse, as they're just in a bit of a better position. I mean, granted, Tsukuyomi's on the other side of the map right now, but Sanctified does not know that, as there's no wards there, so we'll see if anybody presses the advantage. Oh, there is a ward, but it is Eclipse. So Sanctified has the man advantage. It's going to be... I like this fight for Sanctified, but they've got to take it before Tsukuyomi's in.
Eclipse time is running out as time did run out now as Agni came back from base. Yeah. I think you take this fight. Even Dark NMS wasn't there, but I think you take that fight as long as Agni isn't there. Granted, they probably didn't know that Agni was still in base, but that is your only fighting potential.
Beads from Mario come out and save him from MysticMegatron, and that's huge. As we saw earlier, that could lead to a quick death for Mario, no matter how tanky you are, but jumps on top of Soulzc. Agni's in the ring. Lucent taking big damage. Look at the health bars on the side of Eclipse. They're not looking great. Lucent falling low. Blizzard's got one kill. Megatron's got the other. TheDivineApe very low, goes up into the sky. Darknms falling down. TheDivineApe kills Blizzard, but it's a double kill for MysticMegatron. Solar Swing cleans up the Tsukuyomi, and Sanctified kill 4 members of Eclipse. And I don't think Mario can contest this Fire Giant.
Yeah, no, Mario has got to go back to base. I don't think their teleport is quite up. Their teleport is up, but I don't have a wall too close yet.
Oh,
He
they
is
do.
there.
Mario's around the wall. Fire Giant half health. Mario can really take all the time in the world to hang out for this Fire Giant. Bird Bomb's ready to go. Fire Giant 10% health. Mario's going for it! Sanctified does secure the Fire Giant. And that should be the end of Mario, despite the valiant effort for the steal. Killing spree for MysticMegatron.
Yeah, I think taking that fight, it's been a bit of a story of the game. Sanctified just has way more AoE damage than Eclipse does. And burning down multiple opponents at the same time just makes the difference here, making them win most of these team fights every single time.
And that's kind of been the story. It's if it's 1v1 engage, which isn't what we thought in the beginning. The 1v1, the small kind of skirmish engagements have definitely felt advantage Eclipse. But if you get a true 5v5 where Sanctified is actually working as a cohesive unit, it really hasn't felt like a competition, which is not what you and I thought going into this. We were looking at the 1v1 matchups at the start of the game looking advantage Sanctified.
Yeah, but I think right now the team fights and the 1v1s are in favor of them, honestly.
Oni Fury falls down to Sanctified. Fire Giant on 4 members, but notably is not on Blizzard, which is not the greatest case scenario. I mean, it's nice you have it on the 4 members, but Ho Yi's going to be doing your chunking to the towers here on the siege. So, I mean, they got 2 bombs to make it up, so they can probably take a Phoenix if they can get to 1, but they've got 3 tier 2 towers to go through first.
Yeah, they got a bomb, and don't underestimate this full pen on Wheelix. Wheelix is hitting this Phoenix for like 400 a basic as well. This should still fall down very quickly if they go to it.
And with the Hydras.
Yeah, for sure, but it seems like this first
later.
going towards tier 2.
Never mind. Forget everything I said.
Yeah.
I haven't played a Wheelix in a while. We'll chalk it up to that. But that tower is deleted. Nice double stun over the wall, and Tsukuyomi gets pulled through and falls down. Sanctified with a gigantic pick on the wall around the Phoenix. Tier 2 and right going to be deleted. And now Eclipse has to defend Phoenix down in their jungler.
But I don't think they can. I think they gotta give this up. Well, Megatron going in with the Odin Cage, it will stall a little bit, but is it going to be enough? Phoenix already half HP. I mean, Blizzard might not have Fire Giant, but it's still burning this like very quickly. They're doing everything in the power to defend it, though. It will not be enough as the bird has been falling down, but how will the fight afterwards go?
Mid Phoenix is the next on the chopping block. TheDivineApe is getting chunked by MysticMegatron, but gets away. Mario is in way too deep and is going to fall down to Soulzc. Phoenix down to half health. You cannot save it any longer. It's a 3v5 here for the base defense. It's going to be a tough one for Eclipse to defend. They're going to have 4 members for the next Phoenix and the Titan defense, but Sanctified has everything clicking for them.
You still got Fire on 4 and everyone alive. It's only Dark NMS respawning
Blink
now.
in from Adora, Soulzc deleted TheDivineApe. Jeffrey, where to go? I don't see Rama anymore. Adora has Tsukuyomi peeled, who just respawned. Ultimate forced out from Tsukuyomi, but now is in really deep, and Rainfire gets him. Double kill for Soulzc. Pesnu is falling low. Ricochet hits. Solar Swing. Blizzard kills Lucent. Titan is on the menu now. It's going to be a teleport in from Adora. Pesnu is on the defense, but fully healthy to do it. Not anymore! Soulzc just erased the Tiamat, and it's a victory for Sanctified. And game number 1 will be right back on the desk to try to figure out what just happened.
I could get drunk off the lights of a city. Late night phone calls just to say you miss me, but you don't. No, you don't. Drop my phone out, that shit's
Welcome back. Jeffrey, I don't know about you, but that Tiamat felt unkillable the entire game except for the last 3 seconds of the game.
The last 3 seconds, I didn't see no Tiamat. I think they might have been deleted.
It was crazy. Pesnu played out of his mind, survived time and time again, And for that, I genuinely thought in that 1v5 that Pest News had a good chance of at least taking down 3, but just was absolutely erased. And if you look at the player damage of Sanctified, you can see why. 38k from Agni, 32 from Hou-Yi, 34 from Adora. Who needs an ADC when you've got a Soul Laner, I guess? Crazy game overall from Sanctified, but there were good moments from Eclipse.
Yeah, I think you already said it. During picks and bans, actually, Dracull might be one of the captains who puts the most effort into actually looking at all the other teams to prepare themselves. And it shows. I think you cannot say a single player of Eclipse actually played better or worse. I think it's just a very big draft difference, honestly. I think the game was pretty much decided by during picks and bans.
Yeah, I mean, we watched Darknms a lot in Scouting Grounds, and that was without a doubt the most anyone has kept him under control in the jungle. Pest News was really the big standout, and I mean, you and I both kind of had a moment when Lucent locked in Yamoja, and it was certainly there. It's not like Lucent had no presence, but I'm used to watching that Yamoja be able to really hold a team's hand to victory, and Sanctified just had an answer for everything.
Yeah, I think Sanctified might have spent a lot of time studying this Lucent Umoja. And, well, like I was saying before, it's just great knowledge to know what to pick, when to pick. I mean, they might have even been listening to you to pick this Hou-Yi. Who knows? But except for maybe the support and the solo laner, it's 3 picks you don't see all that often right now. Although all 3 of them might be one of the strongest in the role.
I agree completely. We'll have to see if the trend continues because we have game number 2 on the horizon. We'll be right back on the Smite Draft League.
When we were on, I'd always thought we would make it, but now you're gone. Baby, you're a ghost. I'm caught up in a landslide, mental on the low end. When I used to feel alive, now there's a hole in the city, can't feel shit. Where do I go? Cause I know you don't feel this. Can't catch a break for God's sakes. Feel like I'm waking up and I'm caught in the wake. Yeah, I know this is my funeral on parade. I did it to myself cause I always thought you would feel the same, and I know you don't. Drunk off the lights of a city, late night phone calls just to say you miss me, but you don't.
Hello and welcome back to game number 2. I'm still Anthony Malum, and I've still got Jeffrey by my side. Jeffrey, Sanctified had things on lock, so it's hard to imagine they don't have a plan for game 2. So, if you are, let's pretend you're the coach right now for Eclipse. What are you changing going into this game?
Well, first of all, I'm banning Agni. I think Agni's got to go off the table. Yes, you're giving up a different. Oh, there it is. They did ban Agni.
Golf claps.
Yes. I think most of the bans of what they already did in game 1 were very necessary, but you just cannot let it go through again. Especially since Soulzc is on a bit of a roll right now. So stopping that momentum is going to be a big thing, and that's something to start.
And then I think for me, I'm going to add on. I think I want a different look. I mean, you can't say you can say for sure that Darknms was targeted out in the jungle. I mean, the God pool was not limited, but it was, it was affected by the bans and the picks in game number 1. I'm getting something from my jungler early this time on the board and in getting my jungler as comfortable as possible because that's one of your best players and it needs to come through this game.
Yeah, I think Dark might have been a bit over his head after scouting rounds. He had such an amazing scouting rounds. Is one of the players who actually got a pentakill. However, counter picking yourself during week 1 is probably not the best thing to do.
Yeah, for sure. DivineApe, honestly, despite what I expected in the matchup and the build and in even some circumstance, DivineApe did play a nice game. The Chronos was open. We talked about that the last pick in bans. It's open here. I'm taking it. I think that would have been a huge help. The Tiamat was great. It just something was missing. You're missing some piece of glue if you're Eclipse, and you gotta find it. And Sanctified, I mean, we haven't even talked about it yet, but Sanctified's got a sub in this game, and that sub is Ibbawastaken, one of the most mechanically insane players that you will see in the SDL, regardless of division. So it's a tall task for Eclipse this game, somehow even taller than it was before.
Especially Guan Yu being locked in first, I'm not too sure about it. One of the gods, actually, I think the only god that was banned out in the first game that's open right now is Oleron. And if you're Eclipse here, I think you pick it. Your big problem in game one was your team fight, and I think if there's one single god in the game who can change every single team fight, it might be Oleron with his ultimate. I think it might be the single best team fight ultimate in the game, hands down.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. And if you consider the god selection game one from Sanctified, and it looks like Sanctified's going to take the Oleron and put it in there. That is, I mean, you're only setting things up here, and really from either side, that would have been the perfect pick. For Sanctified, we've seen that their team fight skill is locking down Eclipse and controlling the pace of a fight, and Eclipse needed to slow down Sanctified. So it's picking up Oleron here for their team's namesake. This is a power pick.
Yeah, I don't know what DevineApe is going to pick against this Oleron, but I think they might have already lost the lane. They are going to be looking at team fights, and I'm not even sure if you can team fight against the Oleron. Ishtar, it's not too shabby, you know. Ishtar, out of the physical hunters, probably still one of the strongest ones. It's one of the known strongest ones.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you can compete against the magicals.
Yeah, your options are limited against Oleron, but I'm gonna point it out again. Chronos was open there. You could have grabbed Chronos to compete with the Oleron, and it might have been a better selection. I don't know. Maybe I'm overvaluing the Chronos here, but it feels like it could have been a great pick. Maybe it's just not a pick that DivineApe is fond of, but it would have been strong. Ishtar certainly not bad though, but that leaves a lot of options here for Sanctified for their third selection. The Tiamat is being run back, so now they can really look to pick anything.
As
Oh wow,
Susanoo being Hoffet.
that if that Sasano is going where I think it's going, that's going to be tough to play around here. I think, yeah, and it does get locked in. I think Sasano is the answer to the strongest aspects of Eclipse's game one and their team fights is answered by selecting Sasano. You can get in their face. You can create big, massive chaos with Typhoon. Early game, you've got an answer on those ganks. This is a great selection for Sanctified.
Yeah, Susanoo having the lockdown potential, having the CC potential, you're one of people's worst nightmares in most games if you play against it. Susanoo is that kind of god pick that sometimes flies under the radar and then other times just gets picked up every single game. And right now, it's a bit of an under the radar pick, in my opinion. I am just not so sure why, as every single time he is picked, he does pretty well.
Yeah, that's a good call by you. And there is the Lucent Yamoja ban, the first of the season. Mark it down in your notebooks if you're keeping track. That'll be the first of many. The Maui was banned, so we have a lot of control over what we're seeing for support. I love the Ymir. Ymir as a select. This team comp is coming together so nicely for Sanctified. The control that they've got in team fights. I like the Ymir. The Terra's pretty gross too. Terra plays nicely into Sasano. You set up for Sasano and you kind of can forgive Sasano for going a bit crazy. And if I know what I expect to see from Ibba, that's going to be the case. Going deep, creating plays for your team and being the playmaker. Terra forgives that. Thor is a great response though.
I'm disappointed.
You wanted the Ymir.
I wanted the Ymir. I physically stood up out of my chair for the Ymir, and then they just teased me like that. This is not acceptable.
I will say Khepri is open here, which is
Yes.
another Lucent special. It's and there's no. I mean, I guess I was trying to say, is there something that could be selected, but they still need their mid lane? Yeah, pretty safe to go here. I wonder if that'll be the selection for Eclipse. Oh, it's an Atlas. That is a new one for me from Lucent's pick. I mean, maybe we saw that once in season 1. If we did, it escapes my brain. I do want to talk about the Thor a bit, because the Thor scares me. It's a great pick into this team with one exception, and that exception is Sasano.
Mm-hmm.
Sasano Thor is a unfun matchup, to say the least. I mean, you said yourself you're playing a lot of jungle. Take me through what you expect to see in that matchup.
I expect to see Thor winning away from a Susanoo. Scylla being offered here. That's not a great dunking option though for Thor. I think if Thor can get away from the Susanoo, just not fall down towards this Typhoon, towards the grab from the Susanoo 2, I think he might have a great time. I think Thor has an easier time ganking most lanes than Susanoo does, as well. Having that semi-global ultimate dunking down from on top is pretty great. Oleron probably has to be forced to use ult every single time Thor does come over there, making it so he can't use it in those fights. I think Thor is a great pick, as long as you can stay away from this Susanoo.
That is your thing to watch for in the jungle this game, and we are ready to go. So we'll be right back with game number 2 of the set between Eclipse and Sanctified.
I could get drunk off the lights of the city. Late night phone calls just to say you miss me, but you don't. No, you don't. Drop my phone now, that shit's broken. 2 a.m. and I'm lost in Brooklyn, missing home. I know you don't. When we were on, I'd always thought we would make it, but now you're gone. Baby, you're a ghost. I'm caught up in a landslide, mental on the low end. When I used to feel alive, now there's a hole in the city, can't feel shit. Where do I go? Cause I know you don't feel this. Can't catch a break for God's sakes. Feel like I'm waking up and I'm caught in the wake. Yeah, I know this is my funeral on parade. I did it to myself cause I always thought you would feel the same, and I know you don't. Drunk off the lights of a city, late night phone calls just to say you miss me, but you don't. No, you don't. Drop my phone now, that shit's broken. 2 a.m. and I'm lost in Brooklyn, missing home. I know you don't. Let's hit the brakes, I'm pulling out the parachute, jumping out the plane. You had it all in front of you, nothing feels the same. It's crazy what love can do, even crazier when it's not coming back to you. You say you need space, so I gave you all the states. Every night a different place, used to think we're getting close and now we're drifting away. And all I can say is that I'm feeling wasted. I could get drunk off the lights of a city, late night phone calls just to say you miss me, but you don't. No, you don't. Drop my phone now, that shit's broken. 2 a.m. and I'm lost in Brooklyn, missing home. I know you don't. When we were on, I always thought we would make it. Now you're gone.
Hello and welcome to game number 2. Blue side, you got Eclipse. Red side, you got Sanctified. They've got their namesake character, and they've got Ibba on his revenge arc. Let's see how it goes. Let's do it.
Let's do it indeed, as the buffs do get pulled once again. Going for the normal start. There is no Venenu and there is no Nooblet in this game, so didn't expect to see anything else, honestly. How many
know,
times a season? Hold that thought. How many times a season do you think we're gonna see someone pick up the wrong buff with this start?
way too many times. Actually, I can't tell you how many times I've had supports jack my purple buff for me,
That's me.
when we were doing that early 3 camp start. But what I wanted to say, oh, the story writes itself. Soulzc's rocking the speed buff. Blink from Ibbawastaken on to Pest News. Stormkata might be all you need. First blood goes to Ibba. Second goes to Blizzard. And Sanctified is rolling at the start.
Yeah, the only difference there in the mid lane is that I was talking about accidental pickups, and Susanoo and red buff, not bad.
Yeah,
That's
that's
might
a
have
good
been on
point.
purpose.
That's a really good point, actually. Oh, Thor might be a bit pushed up here. Ibba waiting in the wings. Hammer used. Ibba's walking in. Gets stunned out by the wall. Not going to be able to find a kill. All right, I can finally say what I was trying to say. You know, with Challenger Circuit being announced, iNooblet was made a captain, you know, and there's going to be some players new to competitive who are learning from iNooblet. So I wouldn't be surprised if we start casting those Challenger Circuit games if you see the mid laners doing some funky starts.
Yeah, for sure, we might be able to see that. Ooh, actually, Tol, a lot of trouble here. We'll live for now.
It was very close there. TheDivineApe also low, so pressure across the map here, all favoring Sanctified. You can even see it in the solo lane as Mario was pushed up to his tower. So Sanctified playing the early game strong here.
They sure are, as this duo lane looking for a lot of pressure as well. Already got the second blood, of course, but the first blood in the lane, I mean, when I say that. So got a lot of pressure out of that, and Fat Oleron, that's not where you want to go if you're Ishtar.
No, not at all. I think Oleron is one of my least favorite characters to play against so far. I mean, again, we talked about namesake. Sanctified Fields, it's not a good time. It feels bad to play against it. Gank coming out in the solo lane. Mario's out of mana, though, which might be notable for the fight, but Adora's taking a lot of damage regardless. Down to 25% health already. Does get to back up, though. Some Mario not having mana did matter. TheDivineApe got a bit pushed up, walking away. That's a shard popped from both of them. Some movement speed coming out, and TheDivineApe gets to walk away.
Yeah, if you're gonna gank a solo lane, this is probably the time before they hit their defense, before they hit level 5. However, damage just wasn't quite there. So Adora will live, and that will set you behind if you're Dark NMS. And I was saying, this tool needs to be ahead, and well, they're clearly not right now.
Yeah, and I really like Dracull gonna look for the purple buff steal under the tower, and I don't think Eclipse knew what to do there either. Dracull really wants to steal the purple buff, doesn't find it, and is now pushed up really far. This is definitely a death for Dracull. The wall missed, though. I believe Dracull. My faith was misplaced. TheDivineApe kills Dracull. I respect going for that purple buff.
I respect it, but I also think it's very stupid. It's a bit of a double-edged sword, of course, to earn someone's respect. However, tower diving at level 4 as Umoja without a single physical defense item online, it's probably ain't it.
Yeah, that was wild. I played in-houses last night, and Dracull was in it, and I gotta say, Dracull was running at me like a madman in that game too, so now I know where it comes from. Shield buff gonna be secured by Sanctified there. A bit close, but able to secure it after all.
Yeah, I think, going back to last topic, I think Dracull might just be EU div. Yeah.
Yeah, you are really opening my eyes up to the true EU div.
Yes, I know. Anyways, in this mid lane over here, we see Pest News rocking the double buff, actually opting to go towards the green buff as a second buff. What do you think about that?
I like it. I'm torn. But I think I like it here. Because I feel like Tiamat already plays like. Tiamat kind of feels like a mid-game hell, where it's like you're misjudging how tanky they are. You don't really fight them too much. Ibba blink onto Mario. This is not looking good for Mario. Falling low. Typhoon cleans it up. second kill for the Susano.
Yeah, I think Eva might have been timing their abilities actually perfect right here, but hold that thought. They're looking for more. And that's your escape down if you Dark DMS. I think you fall down here.
That's
Going
a
up in
death
the
for
sky,
sure, and Adora gets the
not
credit.
soon enough. Yeah. Adora will find the credit as the kill. I think the second Tor uses hammer there, he was dead.
Yeah, I agree. You hear that sound and it's basically a go signal. I mean, it's just how you play against Thor. And just older run things. Tier 1 tower falls at 5 minutes. Sanctified Fields comes out from Team Sanctified. And some good damage on DivineApe.
Decent damage indeed. I'm not sure if the ultimate was necessary, but I mean,
Want to give me a talking point.
Yeah, Blizzard might also just be flexing on top of them. As Oleron, already a level ahead, having finished their first item, basically no stopping them anymore. Arcee is very strong right now. I just don't think there's a world where DivineApe will ever start boxing this Oleron again now.
Mm-hmm. Especially with the tower gun, it's just not possible. I will point out one thing, Blizzard. Welcome to the league. Good luck this season and all. But when Kingfisher casts your games, be prepared to be judged heavily for building starter second slot. It's a problem around these parts.
Yeah, one of my topics that I should learn better is that sometimes I might be a bit too negative towards players. So I'm trying not to mention it, but I hate it as well.
Dark goes up into the sky with the Hammer of Anvil, looking for Dracull. Finds the stun. Good damage coming out as well. Pest News has the backup, but they still haven't found the kill. There's the hammer, and Dracull is still alive. Cannot bring down the Terra. And it's a solo kill for Mario at the same time. Adora falls down to the Guan Yu.
Yeah, and deserved, as Guan Yu didn't opt to go towards the illegal item, so I'm actually rooting for them in lane right now. As Mario will find the solo kill here. We didn't quite see what happened, but I would assume it's well played, but Blizzard here.
Sanctified Fields is down, but Dark's taking a lot of damage from Blizzard, but now caught out, and Lucent is going to make this easy for Divine to pick up, but you know what? Lucent wanted to kill. The KDA is tracked around these parts, so...
Yeah, it looked like Blizzard was out, but then decided to opt to go back in after seeing how low Dark and MS got. However, probably would have been the better option to just run away as Ishtar was around the corner. They probably didn't know that. I would say, buy some wards.
Yeah, that's rich coming from you.
Thanks.
Oh, man. Anyway, build-wise, about the same as last game. The only thing I find interesting that we'll talk about in a moment, Ibba blink in, Stormkata off the mark, but still chasing it down onto DivineApe. Typhoon follows. Blades of Retribution comes out, but it might not be enough as Ibba's diving deep for this. Avoids the shotgun arrow, but it's enough to make Ibba back up. DivineApe lives to see another day. Looking at the jungle starts, Thor went Bluestone. Susano went Eye of the Jungle. What is your preference?
On either gods they're playing, probably the relic they actually... Oh, not the relic, I'm so sorry. The starter item they actually got, but is Gold Fury...
Down to half. It's getting close. Pest News around the corner. Doing damage to Dracull, and it's enough to make them back off, but the hammer's off the mark on Dracull. Wall hits, but Dracull is still safe for now. It's a theme. But Pest News does clean the kill on the Terra this time, but Ibba is around the corner and waiting for Dark. Adora slams down on the rotation and cleans up the Thor. Mario followed, but just a little too late to get the Thor out of there after going so deep.
Yeah, if I was Pest News there, I would have laid back a little bit. Your jungler is going up into the sky, and Pest News actually scared him off the Gold Fury, making the Thor ultimate out of range. Just a bit sad to see. They did get the kill on top of Dracull in the end. However, I think Thor might have lived there. Did Pest News not scare the other team away?
My reason for asking about the starter in jungle was, do you think the nerf to Bluestone was actually like one of the rare instances of items just being put into a good place? I mean, we're still seeing Bluestone picked up when it works, but we're not seeing every character go it just because it's insane.
Maybe. I still think it's pretty damn strong, and it's not supposed to be a jungle starter. Of course, it's cool to see a bit of like different starters in different roles. However, I think it's stronger on jungle than it should be. And still seeing it like mostly 4 people every single game, I would not say it's too balanced quite yet.
All right, hire Jeffrey to the balance team ASAP.
Mm,
All right, you know what? We got some time. Actions down for a moment. You're hired on the balance team. You get
yes.
to do one drastic thing right away. What is
Okay.
it?
I'm deleting every god except Sylvanas.
All right, you're fired. Everyone's supposed to have like an answer, but that was one of the more drastic I've heard. I gotta be honest.
Hey, you know the game the game is balanced if everyone is just playing the same thing, right? Like can't be unbalanced then.
Yeah, that's fair. I think for me, honestly, as silly as this might sound, I am probably completely reworking Loki again. And I'm adding in Dracula.
That's a pretty cool idea.
I thought about it way too much. Gank coming out from Ibba onto TheDivineApe. There's the blink. Stormkata. Storm's on there. Rotation from Lucent. Once again, Ibba gets cut off from the attempted gank on the ADC. This time might be in a pretty bad spot. A lot of damage coming through, but Blizzard's rotating. So is Dracull. Ibba should get away. Sanctified Fields as well. Soulzc on the rotation. They're going to turn this fight around. Now TheDivineApe might be in a bad spot. Dracull's deep. Ibba goes back in and pulls him in, and it's a double kill for the Sasano, breaking up our calm conversations with pure chaos.
Yeah, Ibba played that near to perfect. The early beats, they actually pre-beats, I do believe, to get out there. Great knowledge as well to like get out at the right time. Don't chase too far. And then the turnaround was pretty good as well. Dark and a mess in the sky though. This Gold Fury is not free.
Not at all. Down at 25%. Dark's taking his time. Crushes on it for the secure. I'm a monster as well. Sanctified gets the Gold Fury. Dracull very low. Double tap cleans it up. But Ibba gets Dark. It's a rampage for the jungler. Now chasing down Best News. Nice. Stun there. Trying to get away. Adora looking to dive in deep. Mario with the blink from the Guan Yu. Trying to cut off the Kakolin. Working for now. And now Mario going aggressive on it. Will run into the crush, and that's enough to make the Guan Yu calm down for the moment. Great attempt at a steal, but just once again coming up a little bit short. Eclipse has been very close to stealing objectives multiple times in this set.
Yeah, but close will not get you anywhere as long as you don't actually get them. Great secure by Sanctified once again to confirm the objective for themselves, making them even more ahead than they were before.
And that's huge for Eclipse trying to stay in this game. They're going to have to keep making plays like that. Cavalry charge from Mario. Ibba very low and under the tower and might have overplayed his hand. He's shut down by Mario. Cavalry charge coming in clutch there.
Yeah, I think Ibba got caught out, obviously, but also they might have wanted to wait with the dash from the one just a little bit longer to get out of the stun from this Guan Yu ultimate. However, even if they did that, they might have had a bit of a slimmer chance, but I still think they were dead any day of the week there.
Yeah, that would have been a tough one to survive. The only thing I could think of is like, I don't know, you try to get crazy with it, maybe blink a bit, but then you're wasting relics for it, so just not worth it. But the shutdown gold for Mario is the other side of that, and that gold feels good right now, especially with how your team is starting to fall behind. Any little bit to kind of keep everybody in it, get yourself back in it, keep the front line strong, matters.
Yeah, we see this 2-level lead in the jungle right here. On Tor, that feels so extremely rough. Tor is a bit of a pop stomp. I want to get it behind early guard. And right now, they have some good ultimates on top of these objectives, at least trying to do something for the team, trying to steal it. It's just not paying off quite yet.
Soulzc taking a lot of damage for the double tap from Thor. Pest News could not find an opening to do extra damage. And now Dracull's playing aggressive. Sasano's back by red buff, but it's not going to turn into a team fight quite yet. Although look at Blizzard starting to rotate over to the mid lane. Ibba buying time in the back. Dracull falling low though, so you don't have infinite time to buy here, and Blizzard sees that and goes back to the duo lane. So we have a moment for Jeffrey to talk us through the charts.
Well, we see a lot bigger gold difference than an XP difference. I think most of the XP difference is in this jungle where we see 2 levels, as the Pyromancer is being pulled, so I think we're gonna talk about that first.
We do. 75% now it's down to half. Dark is in the sky. Dracull and Soulzc are noticeably low. Aiming for Dracull, lands down on top. Dark goes in with the hammer, but now hammer's down and Dark is down 25%. Soulzc very low, cavalry charge on top of Soulzc. I'm a monster to try to get away, but Tallow Assault reached the I'm a monster, and Mario's got a kill. Lucent leads the charge to chase down Adora, who is just trying to retreat, so that should open up the Pyro for Eclipse. Duo lane side, Blizzard was split pushing and has run into a Guan Yu. So Blizzard's going to have to back up and cannot get that tier 2 tower as the Pyro falls.
Yeah, this is the first time this game we actually see a straight up win for Eclipse winning a fight.
Sorry, I wasn't trying to talk over you, but nobody was picking up the bomb, and then Lucent picked up the bomb, so now my crush on Lucent has gotten deeper.
Cool.
Thanks for making me feel validated, Jeffrey.
You're welcome. Yeah, I'm gonna stay quiet now. If you don't.
Oh yeah. I'm protesting. Yeah, I love these daytime casts. Always fun with you, Jeffrey.
You're welcome.
Some rotations around Oni Fury. Notably Mario hanging out over here, and also notable is that TheDivineApe is hanging out in solo lane currently. So it looks like it's abandoned all hope in the duo lane. Gotta let Blizzard just be a monster over there.
I mean, I thought the XP difference in the jungle was bad, but this duo lane, oh no. It's actually Dracull 1 level behind Lucent, but that does not make up for this level 17 Oloran. Dark MNS going into the sky for this Gold Fury once again. Will he actually get it this time? That's the big question. I think it got dropped for now. Got re-picked up, but timer is over.
Goes on Dracull, let's run it back. Sanctified Fields comes out for the namesake. Pest News going down low and quick. So is Lucent, but everybody kind of split off on the side of Sanctified because Mario was causing trouble in the back. TheDivineApe, though, was not as lucky as the rest. Adora cleans up the ADC, and Mario will be the next to fall. Just a matter of credit at this point. It's going to go to Adora again for a double kill, and Ibba and Soulzc ran into Lucent and cleaned up Lucent. So somehow Eclipse manages to lose 4 members after being able to safely retreat at first.
Yeah, that's crazy. And now it's the story of game 1 again. It's Pest News against the world. Are they gonna do something to defend here? I don't think so. You have a 4 level higher Oloran there just hitting the tower like it's nothing. Tower will fall down. And it's the fact that they already got Gold Fury, so they can't do that right now. They might be looking towards this Fire Giant. Everyone from Eclipse is respawning slowly again, but you don't lose a fight if your Oloran is there.
Yeah, that's... You know, I'm sitting here wrapping my brain around what Eclipse can do, because this kind of feels like they're fighting an uphill battle. And it's tough to find the opening because you can't play around anything right now. You can't bank on deleting the Oloran. He's now level 19 and getting online faster and faster. You can't bank on the same kind of damage from Pest News you had in game number 1, because Pest News is having a hard time surviving the pressure from both Adora and Ibba. There's just no openings here for Eclipse.
I think the first thing they gotta start changing is Dark NMS, who got 3 kills. I think all 3 of them were on top of Dracull. I've seen this tall dunk on Terra at least 6 times right now. And I would really like to see him get a bit of a different target.
Yeah, I think that's a good call out there. I almost feel like, I mean, Scylla is very low in the damage charts. I almost feel like you do got to take the risk, I guess, and try to focus on Blizzard and see where that gets you. We'll have to wait for further talk on that, as Dark is now falling low quickly. Typhoon cleans him up before he can get to the sky. Cavalry charge now being used to retreat for the Guan Yu, and we've got a rotation from everybody. Dracull's even on the way, just marching from down deep, and Sanctified looks set up fairly pretty for this Fire Giant.
They sure do, as they got that jungler down again, and that's so far has been the only threat of actually stealing an objective. So without Dark being able to go up in the sky, I am not sure about the stealing potential. However, this is one of the first time Eclipse is actually all here to at least look for a contest. Big fight turning out.
10%.
Fire Giant falling low. Fire Giant actually dying already towards Sanctified. And now this
Sanctified
fight.
got it.
This fight turning out big as Soulzc will pick up the first into Mario. Adora just barely living there. Blizzard in the back being in a bit of trouble though. But hey, they're Blizzard. They'll be fine, right? Yes, they will, as it's actually Lucent now who's dying. Will die towards Blizzard and TheDivineApe in the backline. I think I heard Thor going up into the sky as Soulzc gets another kill. Thor
Looking
is
for
up in the
Adora.
sky.
Can he find it? Turns. No. Second guessing it. Gets the stun on Dracull instead. And Soulzc's around the corner. Steps out of the crush though before it's used. Soulzc was waiting to see if Pest News would walk into it. Pest News now on the retreat from Soulzc and Dracull. Sikkim just out of range. And Eclipse is now on the retreat with just 2 members up. And Sanctified is just showing again that their team fight is just built different.
Yeah, so Ibba is a sub for that team. But he's also hard carrying them right now. Together with, of course, Blizzard. But I think that's something to note, at least. It's quite interesting. They're popping off big time. Props to them.
Yeah, You know, we talked about it during the drafts. These divisions the depth was crazy. And so far this season, that's showing up in every division. Divine, Immortal, Godlike. The fact that Ibba is their sub and steps in the game and is 6-1 level 20 is just out of this world. And Immortal is quickly becoming one of my favorite divisions to watch because the variations of talent is just otherworldly.
Yeah, there are some players in Divine that I was expecting to see Immortal as well, as the Gold Fury will fall down. And now in the backlines, actually, Ibbawastaken getting the first kill, getting a double kill as Iron Monster just barely missed. And now they're looking at Dark once again. But actually, probably going for the tower versus Lucent coming over, but Ibba is still behind.
Yeah, Ibba's in a really good spot here. Gonna look for Lucent.
Uh-oh.
Goes on to the support. Mario walks up to try to create some space as well. And this is a free tier 2 tower. They just could not get past the pressure of the Susano, who's just built a bit different so far in this late game. Mario goes in the back, looking to try to save the Phoenix. Cavalry charge comes out, but health bar is gone. Ibba deletes Mario. Dark dives in with the ultimate, but finds nothing and gets out of there quick as possible. Still healthy for now, and we might have ourselves a Titan Siege online. Lucent dies. It's a double kill for Ibba. They're in the Titan room, but 3 members are up, and they've got a lot of Phoenixes up. Sanctified Fields comes out, and Titan is just taking no damage. Triple kill in the fountain for Susano, but the problem is they still can't end the game, and Sanctified has to retreat. Wow! I thought for a second that Sanctified was just going to stay and try to hang out, and Ibba might be hanging out. Ibba's playing the sneaky game and is playing the true jungler role, waiting around the wall. And here he is with the Typhoon on the Pest News. Brings down Pest News. It is now still hanging out in the Phoenix. Susano, 12-1, taking everybody out.
Yeah, I mean...
Oh, they're going back. Jeffrey, they're going back. They don't... This is... No, okay. I thought they were going back, Jeffrey.
They need to get this tier 2 tower.
They gotta relax. I think that the comms got a little too excited there for a minute, honestly.
I think Ibba is just doing whatever he wants right now. I don't think there's any stopping him. I think the same goes for Blizzard. The only person really dying on top of Sanctified is Dracull, which is fine because you're the support. I think there's no world wherein Adora ever dies once again. Yeah. I would
that
like to see
fight
Eclipse.
Stuttered.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I'd like to see this Eclipse come back. This Eclipse team. I just don't know what they would have to do to come back. I think Sanctified has this in the back.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. I mean, there's nothing else you can say about it. This is, oh boy, Dark uses the hammer. So now Thor is gonna fall to Ibba, 13-1 for the Susano, and Fire Giants being pulled. So now there's no chance that it can be contested. they're going to have to concede it at 25 minutes. Fire Giant goes to Sanctified, and Susano's just hanging out at this point, basically in their fountain.
Susano is just looking for any people even attempting to step up a little bit towards a buff. Not the Fire Giant, he's looking to people who stand up towards a buff. Absolutely destroying anyone and anything in their place.
It might work out, because if they take that route to try to cut off and defend a tier 2 tower, Susano is just lying in wait. So now they're really stuck. And when Sanctified pushes up to this Phoenix, Susano can just walk right in. He's already there. Perfect positioning. So we'll see what the wait leads to. Ward out as well. So prepared for anything. Sanctified pushing up at the Phoenix. We'll see if the opening is real. Ibba's now de-warding it. So they know the Susano's there for the moment. There goes Ibba on the Dark and deletes the Thor. Now Divine. Adora dives in on the Pest News and does some good damage. They've let the Phoenix go because Mario is wreaking havoc in the back, but didn't kill anybody. Almost died in the process. Phoenix still up. Ibba leading the charge in deep into the fountain. Pulls in two. Typhoon comes out and knocks him into the fountain. I think Sanctified is just buying themselves needless time at this point. Phoenix just now falls down. Eclipse trying to mount a defense, but they're dropping down low, and Adora goes in deep. Just finds Mario. On the route is Dracull, and they got to retreat to mid-Phoenix, and they're going to look to take the left one. Sanctified is both in a position to end, but unable to end at the same time, and Eclipse is just buying as much time as they possibly can at this point. They've got a full health Susano to contend with. Jeffrey, here he comes! The monster himself goes in on Pest News. He falls down. 15 kills now for Susano. What a dunk from Dark in the back! Is this what Eclipse needs to defend? Mario diving deep on Soulzc with the Towel of Assault. Can't find him quite yet. Dark blinks in. Dark has that one. Falls down to Adora before he could secure the kill on Dracull. Now Mario is left alone. Mid-Phoenix has responded in the meantime. But I don't think there's going to be a lot here for Lucent to get out of there. Blizzard kills Lucent. Ibba killed Mario. Ibba's immortal. Now there's only TheDivineApe left to defend and is already dropping low. Adora diving in deep for the Ishtar. Barely anything stands in the way of Sanctified and the Titan, and they're already on top of it. Down to half health. TheDivineApe is the only person to defend, but they've got no minions yet. Fire minions are getting close, but they're not there yet. Sanctified's got to wait for minions, and they got to end this game. Jeffrey, it's driving me crazy. Down to half health is the Titan. Best News looking for Dracull. And now Sanctified has to retreat because they took too much poke.
Yeah, Ibba backing there, making it so they couldn't end just right there. Although I think they could have ended before. But you were saying it in I think during the early game when actually Lucent got the only kill they've got so far this game. People are looking at KDA in this division. So they might just be actually farming and getting some more kills while they're ahead like this.
That's what's weird. It's like, yes, but at the same time, I mean, we saw them try to end twice. And because they had focused on those kills to secure it in the beginning, they couldn't end. So it's kind of like, it's teeter-tottering on the edge of that, you know? Like, I genuinely think that they couldn't end until his minions walked in, but they took so much poke by the time the minions were there that they couldn't commit to it. So Sanctified kind of shot themselves in the foot. I mean, they're 20k gold up. Level 20 still hasn't been hit by the jungler or by the ADC and Eclipse. So, I mean, it's not like they threw the game, but it's just... It was weird, like you said. And now we've got Ibba hanging out again around the side. Pyromancer falls down. Whoever Ibba runs into is a free pick.
We do also got to talk about Dark actually keeping his team in it there with the best dunk so far on his game. I'm telling you, the second he chooses a different target than Dracull for once, they won a fight. Although I wouldn't quite say win. They didn't lose the fight.
Yeah, we'll say it loosely.
Yeah.
Adora runs into a few members. We might have another fight breaking out. Lucent taking a lot of poke. Ibba's here. Deletes Dark. Now has a double kill. Triple kill for Ibba. Godlike for the Susano. Sanctified has two members standing in their way. And Ibba's going for it. Looking for Pest News. Adora leading the way. Mario trying to play cutoff. I'm a monster. Just off the mark, barely. Sanctified has nothing in their way. They've got two members who can do some work. Sanctified Fields is out. Trying to help take this Titan down. Ibba's on Mario. Mario's still alive. Titan down to 10%. Titan's
Yes.
gonna fall. Sanctified takes the first set of their season. We'll be right back on the
GG.
dash to talk about this Susano.
I could get drunk off the lights of the city. Late night phone calls just to say you miss me, but you don't. No, you don't. Drop my phone now, that shit's broken. 2 a.m. and I'm
Welcome back. Game 2 is over. Sanctified take the first set of their season against Eclipse, and they did it with their namesake character. They did it cleanly at times, but Jeffrey, there's one glaring thing for us to talk about, and I will let you lead the conversation on that one.
Well, I'm not sure which one you want to talk about. It's probably not the one I'm going to talk about right now, because I want to talk about the 11.5k player healing on Terra right here. Actually having almost the same amount of player healing as Thor and Ishtar did worth of damage. Absolutely massive.
You know, you make a good point. That is kind of ridiculous. I also would like to talk about Dracull's wards, Jeffrey.
It's 40 more than our place.
But no, let's move on to the actual ridiculous story. The 19-1, just under 40k damage Susano. Early game, it really wasn't a stomp from the Susano. We saw some good positioning, but really the farm was the key for Susano. It was that late mid to late game where Susano just completely obliterated Eclipse.
You gotta remember they did take first blood as well, but yes, they played very, very well. And once the Susano actually got ahead this far, they were just running it down, pressing W key everywhere. Great positioning, great blending in with walls sometimes. Just taking people by surprise. And every time Dark even attempted to throw his hammer, he was already dead.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. And you said something. So once the season starts, obviously, we've got our teams. We spend a lot of scouting grounds talking the players up, and we're never harping on players. We're pointing out things as a team to work on. I said this in one of the godlike sets that we were on so far. But for me, Eclipse, there's a lot shining through, and there's definitely a lot there. And I think one of the biggest things that you talked about was Dark's target selection was potentially the biggest problem for the jungler.
Yes. Yeah, target selection might be a thing to work on, because, well, I've casted a penta of them during scouting round, so we know it's a good player. No questions in there. But we saw the one ultimate, like we've talked about it during the game, we saw the one ultimate onto Soulzc actually turn a fight around while you're behind that far. So they did have the potential to make a big impact. However, I don't think they're the sole reason this team was lost. I think Oloran is so much better than Ishtar as a god. Then I also think Lucent might have picked the most overrated Guardian in the game. Everyone who's picking Atlas always says, "Oh, Atlas is so good, I'm gonna win," and I always see people lose on it. It's in SPL, it's the same thing. I always see people pick Atlas and they always lose. I don't know why it's such a high value pick.
Yeah, I definitely, I do see value in in Atlas, but I think Lucent the god pool that Lucent brings is so strong and so varied, and Atlas is not one of the characters I think of. I see the logic, it played into the comp well, but I would have liked to see one of Lucent's more traditional picks. I think Eclipse going forward definitely can find a lot of things to improve on. And I think for Sanctified, it's just a matter of kind of cleaning up the edges and really making it more smooth. I mean, Dracull's strategy is there, and it played out well in game. They just got a little crazy in the throne room. Other than that, Sanctified's on it. Eclipse has room to improve. And Jeffrey, this was quite a set. So with that, we thank you for watching the Smite Draft League. This has been Eclipse versus Sanctified in the Immortal division. I've been Anthony Malum. I had Jeffrey alongside me, and iNooblet was running the camera. And we'll see you next time on the SDL.